So, we're going to get more into how I analyze this chart this week. So, one thing is, I always start with the DXY. I look at what the hell is going on with the DXY. For a while, it wasn't, not that one. It was hovering around this area. Actually, no, it started out down here, and then it came up here after a few days, and then it finally broke. I was really focused on the trend of this after it created this head and shoulders and pushed up. And I expected USD JPY to follow, gold to go the opposite way, and Euro USD to follow gold. But at the same time, it started out funny. All of January, USD JPY, gold, all pairs, they've been kind of doing their own thing. Like market makers, they've just been fucking with the entire market. So I can go with it, but at the same time, I had to go with what I was seeing, and what I was seeing was gold was big time was following dollar. It was going up, and UJ was going down for a while. And then for a little bit, UJ went up, and they finally started swapping, and now it's evening out. I don't know. At some point, it just decided UJ just finally started dropping with DXY, which I knew was coming at some point. But the point is, you want to start with the correlations. Those are my main pairs. Like, I love dollar. I love USD JPY. Gold, Euro, USD, those are my main pairs that I trade. I do trade other pairs once in a while. I'll keep a list of pairs like oil, AUD JPY, CAD JPY, GBP JPY, and now USD NOK, and yeah, other pairs. But I mainly trade like 2 or 3 pairs out of the week, and I'll hold them if there is a longer term opportunity available to me. Like, you can tell, like, typically you can hold a trade for, like, sometimes if it's ranging like this, you don't want to hold it too long. Like, you can tell, like, 1 minute is going down, then it just stayed in the middle, it went up for a second, and stuff like that happens. You want to pay attention to the area, position of the market. Where is the position? What is happening on the daily right now? And that's what, because at the same time, you could be looking at, here's an example. You could be looking at what's going on the daily chart. You see a fast move. This is what happens to a lot of people. They see these fast moves happening on the daily, and they're focused on the money in their account, and it scares them. But a big thing that happens is they're not really focusing on what's happening on the candlestick, what really happened on the longer term perspective. We need to focus more on the candles here before we exit from looking at one of these. Well, anything lower. But it's mainly like these candles here. I mean, during the minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, up to the hour. They're going to move much faster compared to the 4 hour and the daily. So, a good example is, it could have started out here on the 5 or 15 minute. But if you look on the daily, from the position, it could have barely done anything. It could just be waiting to close its position or retest an area and then drop. That's all I'm really trying to show you. But yeah, in this point, from what I see off the DXY, it looks like it could drop a little bit lower and potentially retest this area or this area. Or it could come back up for a while, for a day. Do the same thing considering how hard it pushed. Because typically, if the market pushed really, really hard like that, at some point it's going to have to come back up and make up for that. It can be slow, it can be fast, but at the same time on the lower time frame, you have to trade what you see. So that's part of the deal for the daily. I focus that and look at the lower time frames. And for the monthly, started out with a strong trend line to kind of figure out the direction. And it'll be a long time before it hits this area, considering this is monthly, but nothing wrong with showing that. And on the lower time frame, you still see that line and how far it really has to go. And you can tell that it's making like a weird head and shoulders. There's potential that it could bounce on that line or struggle here, because let's go to a closer perspective, there's more rejection. Plenty of rejection in the past from about November, October. It's rejected plenty of times, and then it created that head and shoulders. And if I look a little bit closer, there was that wedge, which wasn't there that week, which is why you want to keep looking at everything higher. You want to, yes, there was this head and shoulders here, but you got to look for that entry. Pay attention to the entry. Ask yourself what is going on. From what I could tell, it was creating that structure by the time it broke down. But I was following, actually, at the start I was following it like that before it did anything. Whoops. It was more of a channel, and it was just like, what's happening? When should I start buying? From what I could tell, this would have been the best spot if it were to turn around. So it was just a patience game. But I fell asleep too early. I ended up waking up late. I ended up catching it here, then here, and the retest. Man, I just entered again on Thursday night to Friday, I believe. No, I didn't enter Friday, or was it that morning? But overall, here are the markups that I actually made. Down to about there. And as the trend started settling, I was about here. And then I had to find myself breaking through it a little bit. But it wasn't the valid one. So I ended up moving that one there. And at the same time, oh wait. I had it to about here. And then I had another trend line break because it was wedging. Then it retested about here. Then I created this line here to highlight that retestment there. And then the moment it broke that line, it came and retested this area. So I highlighted this area, then the flag that was here, I highlighted again. Because it came back down, created this reversal candle. It came back up, we tested the area, came up, tested again, came up, made this wedge up here, which I can highlight on the lower time frame. You will see that it's a wedge. And then it created another wedge. On a lower time frame. And then it decided to break to the high. Like that, I believe it was that Thursday afternoon. You can look at it. It looked more like it could retest and come to this area here. But it didn't do that. Actually, yeah, I entered this one again late. But what ended up happening is I closed I had split each into 3, which is what I usually do, because it's closer to the zone. Like, I don't split it into 3 each and every time. These 2 I didn't split into 3 at all. This one I did split into 2. But I took some home just in case that it did come all the way back down here. But when I saw that wedge was happening and it was starting to break the wedge, that's when I put in 2. I put in a small one, and then I kept going. And then it just kind of held to like the market close. Normally I don't always hold to market close, but it's looking like I might be able to do that because what's happening on the left. You see some consolidation here. It could potentially do that over here and then go up, or create a wedge and break down. But only time will tell. We have to wait to see what's going on. You'll learn that patience is your friend.